Well, and we're here with Savannah Artusi, who went on the Ecuador Comparative Ecology and Conservation Program. Thank you for coming, Savannah.
No problem.
So can you tell us about the program you went on in Ecuador?
Yeah, so basically the program, one of the main aspects of the program was getting to do excursions. So we got to Ecuador and we sort of had an orientation, and then we would have classes in Quito, the capital, city of Ecuador, in a building there, and sort of talk with our professors and have classes. And then about every other week we take, maybe a little less, we would take an excursion outside of the city. So we went to the Amazon, the Galapagos, the Cloud Forest, the Paramo Highlands, just all these different excursions, and we would also do learning there. And we did that for about 2 months, and then in the third month in November, we had a month-long independent study project where different students went to different places and did their own research.
Wow.
And then we came back and sort of discussed that and kind of wrapped everything up, and then we headed home.
Wow. So what can you tell us about the excursions? Did you enjoy them?
Oh yeah, the excursions were definitely everyone's favorite part of of the experience, and one of the most unique parts of it, because Ecuador is so biodiverse. There's so many different types of ecosystems there. So getting to go to all these different excursions to places as famous as the Galapagos was really amazing, because these are the kinds of places you've heard about, or I've heard about my whole life. So to finally get to go there was absolutely amazing.
Wow. What did you like about the Galapagos?
Oh, it was just gorgeous, and it was so interesting. I mean, I learned so much about how, it's just this hot spot for diversity, and it really is. Every picture, everything that you've ever seen or heard about it is really the way that it is. They have seals, blue-footed boobies, penguins, all of it, and we got to swim and snorkel and, hike around and really experience all of it firsthand. So that was amazing.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
What is your major?
I'm in environmental science and Spanish. Well, I'm about to declare. I haven't declared yet.
Oh, excellent. Did you feel like this program fit in well with your major?
It fit in perfectly. That's one of the reasons why I picked it, because we were studying environmental science, which is my main focus, and especially ecology, which is even further my focus, in a country where obviously Spanish is the primary language. So I was getting the best of both worlds.
Wow. And did you like the director of the program?
Oh, yes, definitely. Javier Silva was he was our main director, and he's a wonderful person. I had a really wonderful experience sort of getting to know him, because my independent study project was on butterflies, which is sort of his main field of research. So he kind of gave me some advice on that and was really interested in my project, and he was definitely also one of the best aspects of the program. He was wonderful.
Excellent. And what was your independent study specifically? You did butterflies, and what were you studying about them?
Yeah, so I studied in a cloud forest. It's about like 2 hours away from the capital, Quito, and I focused on butterfly diversity at different altitude levels, and also just sort of generally cataloging the diversity at this particular site, and also comparing it with a study that Professor Javier had done about 30 years back.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sort of able to look at a lot of different things with the study and got some interesting results, which is exciting.
Wow, excellent. And was it hard to write your paper in Spanish at the end?
Well, I didn't have to write mine in Spanish. A lot, like the only ones that had to be written in Spanish were the more social focused papers. And I would have written mine in Spanish, but to submit it here at the university and also to just sort of be considered for credit, it has to be in English. But we had to write our abstract in Spanish, but obviously that wasn't that long.
Excellent. Great. And what would you say, what advice would you give to students who are thinking of applying to this program?
Well, the best advice I would say is to absolutely do it. There's nothing that I would say should discourage you from doing this program. I mean, I absolutely loved it. It was, best experience of my life. Make sure, to make sure that they get their vaccines before they left, because I know there are a couple of students who were a little confused on that, or they were told different things by healthcare providers. So, make sure you get like your yellow fever vaccine, especially. Just be careful, get your malaria pills, that kind of thing, just to make sure that you're safe.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, just take advantage of everything. Don't get too caught up in doing homework and spending too much time on them, and obviously focus on your studies, but make sure that you're doing everything to stay involved in like your host family and the sort of what Ecuador has to offer, and don't spend too much time on the internet or doing any of that. Try to stay focused.
Yeah, and tell us about your host family.
Oh, my host family was fantastic. I lived with, a sort of nuclear family, mom, dad, daughter, and then their sort of nanny, or she sort of like ran the house, I guess, raised the daughter, helped raise the daughter, and then their dog and their parrot. And they're just, an amazing group of people. I don't know how SIT honestly picked them so perfectly for me, because for me, they were like the perfect family. But there are a lot of people for whom they might not have fit as well, because they kind of like to, like, I don't like to go out at night. I'm not really into nightlife. They weren't either, so we were able to sort of do a lot of really fun things that I really enjoyed that were in my comfort zone. So like, spent a lot of nights, discussing music, listening to music, dancing, going out and visiting, like the city center, eating food, cooking. And they were just really sweet people. I still keep in touch with them, and I hope to for the rest of my life. And I felt so safe and comfortable there. That was definitely one of the best aspects of the program as well.
Wow.
Every aspect of the program was the best.
Sounds like a good fit for you.
Oh, they were perfect.
Great. And the city, did you feel like it was a safe city to be in?
I never had any problems with it. Definitely during orientation week, they made it sound pretty unsafe, which is, it makes sense if you just compare it to any other city in the U.S. even, like New York City. It's a big city. So there's natural dangers inherent with that, and then also when you add the fact that I'm not blonde, but for a lot of people who are blonde, or the people who are redheads, they seem to be kind of more obviously foreign, so they might have gotten a little bit more attention, just from people noticing that they were foreign. But I didn't have any problems. Nothing was ever stolen from me. I never felt unsafe. I was always aware of my surroundings, but other than that, I never felt unsafe.
Wonderful. Great. That's good to hear. And what about, how do you feel like this program is different than a traditional university experience?
Well, that's definitely, one of the things that I thought was most interesting, just coming back. Obviously, I'm at the University of Virginia, and I love my university, but it's definitely very different from anything that you could possibly get at a university. It's not just, oh, this university is different. It's just something that physically couldn't happen, because you're there, with 23 other students, and you're having the attention of at least 2 professors, usually more, because we would also have guides, and we had some other professors who would come and lecture to us, and also help us when we were in the field. So you were having 24 people, at least 2 professors, and you were with them when we went on the excursions, 24/7 almost. So you really got kind of an individualized attention. You got to get to know your professors a lot more than you do at a traditional university. You got to ask questions, and then much more interactive, much more student-based and experiential. And that was something that was, for me, I missed that a lot.
Great. And as a science person, do you feel like the program really tailored to your needs?
Yeah, we focused on a lot of different aspects of, ecology that I thought were really interesting, especially, the plant biology. And then we also focused on, just general animals, entomology. I did a project on entomology, obviously the butterfly project, but also another group project. So I felt like, I got to learn a lot on a lot of different topics that I found really interesting.
Great. And were you having to be out in the field and getting up early and doing things like that?
When we went on excursions, we did get up early, but we also went to bed earlier than we do here, so I was never too tired. We definitely worked hard, though, but when we went on excursions, but it was a lot of fun. So we would, get up in the morning and go bird watching, which was amazing, or we'd go catch birds in mist nets and weigh them and look at them and, of course, set them free, or do those kinds of things in the morning and spend the whole day, obviously between meals, just kind of studying, seeing things, learning, and all of that.
Excellent. And one last question. Is there anything else you want to add, or I could think of another question for you as well?
I don't know what else I would ask. I would just say, I can't imagine. I have a hard time, thinking of any possible objections to the program, reasons people wouldn't go. But just make sure that whenever you're deciding which program to go to, that you look at what you're interested in and pick a program based off of that. Like I picked this program because it had, it was in Ecuador, which is a wonderful place that I wanted to go to. It had things for both of my major, and they had the homestay. And I obviously love the program and would definitely, anyone who's in ecology especially, I would, and you speak Spanish, I would recommend this program as highly as it possibly could.
Excellent. Great. Thank you so much.
All
right.
So talk about the program.
Great. So if you want to just say goodbye and
Bye.
thanks.